Hello and welcome is yet another incisive, comprehensive and exciting edition of Tram Sports right here on the Right Answers Media. We're always excited to have you join us, and on the Monday morning edition of the show, it's where we get to bring you a review of all the sporting events from across the weekend. And I can promise you that it was definitely a memorable weekend for most of your favorite teams and most of your favorite athletes. Well, my duty right here on Tram Sports is to make sure you get all the details and to bring you up to speed with the latest in the world of sports. Ugochukwu Madumere is my name. Without further getting into Lily and without much ado, let's get on to the main event. We start off in the Nigeria Premier Football League, where Remo Stars have made history. Yes, indeed, history was made in the MPFL for the very first time. Second half substitute, Olamilekon Adedayo, provided the decisive goal for Remo Stars, scoring a late winner in the 1-0 win over Niger Tornadoes, securing the 2024-2025 Nigeria Premier Football League title, and we have still 3 games to go. Well, following Rivers United's stumble in Kano on Friday, Remo were poised for their first taste of success in the Nigerian top flight, but they had to work extra hard against the resilient Niger Tornadoes, who were also battling relegation. The win was Remo's 21st of the season, taking them up to an unassailable 69 points. Well, a 10-point lead now ahead of Rivers United in second place with 3 games left to play this season, also becoming the first Southwest team to win the Nigerian top flight since Julius Berger in 1991. For Niger Tornadoes, they remained 2 places above the drop zone with 44 points, just 2 points separating them from 17th place Heartland. And this is an absolutely historic moment for Remo Stars and for their coach Daniel Ogumodede, who is winning the MPFL for the very first time. In the last 4 seasons, they have always finished in the top 4. And finally, some would say victory well-deserved. Win well-deserved for Remo Stars. Well, on the other side, the battle for continental tickets took another dramatic turn on match day 35 of the MPFL as Enyimba claimed bragging rights in the Orento Derby, while Akwa United dealt a crushing blow to Ikorodu City's dreams of playing on the African stage. Well, at the Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium, the Cathedral, Enyimba revived their hopes of snatching a late continental spot by beating the Flying Antelopes, who are also the league champions, defending champions. Well, can we still call them? They won the league last season, so now the title has been taken from them. They have really been underwhelming this season. So in their own backyard, Enyimba got the better of them by 2-1 goals from Gabriel Innocent and Ekene Awazie. Well, that did move them up to 52 points, just 1 point behind Ikorodu City in the chase for 3rd place. Ikorodu City, on the other hand, their fortunes took a hit. The Oga Boys had gone ahead through Wisdom Obane's 19th minute strike, but it was the promise keepers of Akwa United who turned the game around, sealing a 2-1 win. Abia Warriors of Umuahia has now taken full advantage of the slip-up and are in pole position for the Seoul CAF Confederation Cup ticket after brushing aside Shooting Stars 3-1 in Umuahia. Goals from the likes of Ojono Guadejo, Anthony Joma, and of course the very prolific Sunday Megwo right there at the Umuahia Township Stadium. The result takes Abia Warriors to 56 points. Elsewhere, the relegation battle also saw crucial movements. Sunshine Stars kept their survival hopes alive with a 2-0 win over Katsina United, thanks to 2 second-half goals from Wahid Adebayo. However, the Owena Wales remain in danger, level on 41 points with Akwa United, but with a worse goal difference. Akwa United's victory over Ikorodu City was also vital in their own relegation fight, as the promise keepers remained in the 18th place with 41 points. Nasarawa United edged Heartland 1-0 to ease their relegation worries. League top scorer Anas Yusuf scored the only goal of the game. Bayelsa United also earned a massive 3 points at home, defeating El Kanemi Warriors 2-1. The likes of Mustafa Jawad and Eyong Ofem scoring in that particular one. El Kanemi Warriors with 43 points are still not mathematically safe and will need to be at their best when they welcome champions-elect Remo Stars in Maiduguri on March day 37. Kora United and Plateau United also picked up victories. The Harmony Boys defeated struggling Lobby Stars 4-0 in an entertaining affair. And we had the Pride of Benue losing their 20th game of the season against Plateau United. And so, congratulations to Remo Stars, congratulations to the Ikene-based side, and congratulations, of course, to Daniel Ogumodede. It was an absolutely electrifying weekend in Spain and very dramatic to say the very least, as FC Barcelona have moved a step closer to their dream of a historic treble after defeating Real Madrid 3-2 in a thrilling 2025 Copa del Rey final held in Seville on Saturday. Well, with the trophy secured, the Catalans now gear up for a critical stretch in their season, beginning with this week's semi-final first leg against Inter Milan, alongside the decisive final rounds of the La Liga campaign. Well, it was the fantastic football of Hansi Flick who made sure that he did win his first trophy as coach of Barcelona. Pedri opened the scoring for Barca. The tide shifted in the second half when Kylian Mbappe and Aurelien Chouameni struck in quick succession. But then again, Ferran Torres equalized in the 83rd minute, shortly after a controversy struck when referee Ricardo de Burgos, following a VAR referee, chose not to award a penalty to Barcelona. Well, that was actually quite dramatic because it was in the very last minute of the game, and a lot of people felt like, even before the game, a lot of talk, a lot of controversy. Real Madrid, trying to stir up controversy and say that there was some sort of partiality requested for a change in the code, in the referee, and all of that. But the decisive goal came in the 116th minute from Jules Koundé that sent Barca fans inside the La Cartuja Stadium into a frenzy that continued until the final whistle that saw, a red card to some Madrid players, of course, which will be followed by a couple of suspension, the likes of Rudiger and the rest of them having to be penalized for that particular one. So, congratulations to the blog runner. All right, moving on to England now, where Man City will face Crystal Palace in their third successive FA Cup final after cruising to a 2-0 win against Nottingham Forest at Wembley on Sunday. Pep Guardiola's side took an early lead through Rico Lewis, and Josko Vardiol's second-half goal sealed a comfortable semi-final success. City can look forward to a showdown with Palace at Wembley on May 17 after the Eagles won 3-0 against Aston Villa in the other semi-final on Saturday. 2 goals from Ismail Assar and, of course, a fantastic strike from Eberechi Eze. Their 14th FA Cup final appearance gives City a chance to win the competition for the 8th time and the 3rd since Guardiola arrived in 2016. City lost to Manchester United in last season's FA Cup final after beating their cross-town rivals in the 2023 showpiece. And so it is already decided, this final of the FA Cup, which of course is the oldest football cup competition in the world, is going to be Manchester City up against Crystal Palace. Guardiola is hoping to salvage a really turbulent season by lifting the FA Cup and qualifying for the Champions League via a top 5 finish in the Premier League. And moving on now to the English Premier League. Well, if you are a Liverpool fan, you should already be singing songs of victory right now, because over the weekend, Liverpool officially secured the Premier League title after a commanding 5-1 win over Tottenham Hotspur on Sunday. The match played at Anfield saw Liverpool come from behind after Tottenham's Dominic Solanke, who of course did play at some point for Liverpool, opened the scoring in the 12th minute, assisted by James Maddison. Well, fantastic reply from Liverpool. Took them only 4 minutes to draw level, with Luis Diaz firing home in the 16th minute following a pass from Dominic Szoboszlai. Liverpool continued to dominate proceedings with the likes of Alexis McAllister, Cody Gakpo, Mo Salah all on the score sheet. Well, the victory was sealed when Tottenham's Destiny Udogie scored an own goal in the 69th minute, pushing the scoreline to 5-1 in Liverpool's favour. And so, ladies and gentlemen, the siege is broken. 3 times Man City did win the league just before Liverpool got their hands on it this particular season. I think it's been an absolute wonder what Liverpool have been able to achieve with Arne Slot this particular season. Basically just continuing from where Jurgen Klopp stopped. dropped. And then the race for the top four intensifies. Chelsea with a 1-0 win against Everton. Bournemouth were involved in a 1-1 draw with Manchester United. Newcastle victorious in their game against Ipswich Town, and the games will definitely continue. Well, let's take a dive into the world of athletics right about now and talk about a couple of Nigerian players. Well, just one actually, Toby Amusan, Toby Express, like we used to call her. World record holder in women's 100 meters hurdles, Toby Amusan opened her 2025 outdoor season with a fourth-place finish at the Diamond League opener in Xiamen, China on Saturday. In what was her first hurdles race since the Paris 2024 Olympics, the Nigerian finished in a time of 12.74 seconds in the race that was won by reigning world champion Danielle Williams in 12.53 seconds. And finally, we wouldn't complete today's episode without bringing you updates and giving you the latest in terms of what to expect this week, as Luis Enrique, coach of Paris Saint-Germain, has named his 22-man PSG squad for this week's semi-final first leg encounter against Arsenal, a crucial match in the calendar for both teams. The PSG boss has no injuries to report heading into the game at the Emirates Stadium. The sides have already met in the competition this season, with the Gunners running out 2-0 winners in the league phase at the beginning of October. Arsenal will be hopeful of a similar result on Tuesday as the Beats take a lead with them to Paris for next Wednesday's return leg. Mikel Arteta's side have had plenty of time to prepare for Champions League showdown after having the weekend off due to Crystal Palace's involvement in the FA Cup semi-finals. The sides did meet in North London last Wednesday as they played out a 2-2 draw. PSG, on the other hand, faced two games last week. They drew away to Nantes and they lost 3-1 at home to Nice on Friday evening. Well, it was their first defeat of the Ligue 1 campaign, but Enrique admitted after the game that the attention immediately turns to the Arsenal encounter, which of course promises to be an absolutely electrifying game. A couple of numbers, stats and figures to look forward to. Arsenal are competing in the Champions League semi-finals for just the third time after 2006 and 2009, beating Villarreal in their former year and losing to Man United 3 seasons later. The Gunners have avoided defeat in each of their last 8 Champions League matches. Arteta's men have scored 30 goals in their 12 Champions League games this season, the most ever for an Arsenal team in the competition's history. Arsenal have gone unbeaten in the 11th straight Champions League home games since returning to the top tier of European football in 2023, last losing a Champions League match at the Emirates in 2017. And interestingly, PSG are looking to eliminate an English team for the third round running, having bested Liverpool in the last 16 before sending Aston Villa packing in the quarterfinals. So, will it be yet another triumph over an English team for Paris Saint-Germain? They've knocked out Liverpool, they've knocked out Aston Villa. Will they knock out Arsenal? Well, also happening this week, Inter Milan taking on Barcelona. Inter Milan off the back of 2 defeats in the Italian Serie A, and of course, a loss against AC Milan in the Coppa Italia, and Barcelona off the back of a very sweet victory in the Copa del Rey final against Real Madrid. Well, both sides definitely will be slugging it out later on Wednesday. Semi-finals of the Europa League and the Conference League coming up as well. Manchester United, Tottenham Hotspur, and Chelsea all in action. Well, until Friday when we'll come back with more from the world of sports. Ugo Chukwu Madumere is my name. Make sure you're following us on our socials. Send the link to your friends and your enemies if you have any. Make sure they are following and joining the conversation on our social media platforms. Well, until then, adios.